How am I looking? I look good? Any shines?
We're live in 1 minute. Finish getting ready, people.
So has anyone actually talked to this guy? Bronson? Didn't he kill like 3 people? Why isn't he in prison? All right, here we go.
Time to go. We're on in 5,
Question.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on Channel 6 News, I'll be interviewing Hugo Bronson, local crossing guard recently acquitted of a triple homicide. This is a man accused, charged, and found guilty for the murders of musician Herb Lorraine and former child stars Alan Hawthorne and Sandra Huxley. He was deemed unfit for trial by way of delusional insanity. Tonight, we'll be checking in on him to see how he's doing after all that and to get information on the situation as a whole. Hello, Hugo. How are you doing this evening? Hugo, can you hear us?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So let's get right into it. Mr. Bronson, if you will, what are your thoughts on your recent acquittal? It was just last week. How are you feeling now?
I'm doing great, Nolan. To be honest, I don't know why I was in court in the first place. I brought a bloodthirsty criminal to his due end. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Bronson, the charges were for the murders of 3 innocent people. Who do you think you killed?
To be honest, Mr. Rhubarb, I have no idea. I don't bother to learn the identities of the scum I vigilantize. And I only killed 1 person, so...
There were 2 bodies with Tomahawk wounds found at the scene, Hugo. Can you explain that?
I threw my trusty Roberta here at the target, just to be safe. I'm pretty sure he was already dead, though.
But why did you do that? What was the purpose?
He could be criminal scum, too. You can never be too sure. Just gotta kill everyone, right?
So you just threw it at him to make sure he was dead?
Yeah.
You don't see anything wrong with that?
Should I?
Jesus, he really is insane. Okay, Hugo, moving on.
What was that?
I'm sorry?
What did you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. How do you think the public feels about your actions, Hugo? What do you think they're saying?
Well, I hope they're happy. I do my best to keep these criminals off the streets, and I like to think I do a really good job of it, too.
But as a crossing guard, isn't your only duty to direct the flow of traffic?
Hey, I'm a full-fledged officer, Mr. Rhubarb. Sure, I might be relegated to traffic duty, but that's beside the point.
Sorry, Mr. Bronson, I didn't know. Now, answer me this. Why do you carry a tomahawk around? It seems like an odd choice. I'd call it ineffective, but we've clearly been shown otherwise.
The department gave me Roberta because they thought giving me a firearm would be too dangerous. They thought a tomahawk would be small yet clunky enough to not do any real damage, but I got good with her real quick and real fast. Which are the same thing, but whatever.
All right, Hugo, well, let me ask you this. What were you doing there in the first place? Shouldn't you have been directing traffic? Why did you enter Alan Hawthorne's home?
Well, Mr. Rhubarb, I was just minding my own business, making sure that people weren't running into cars and cars into people and all that good stuff.
At 10 o'clock at night?
That's when my post is, and I will ask you to not interrupt me, please.
Boy, well, excuse me, Mr. Bronson. My apologies. So, it was 10 o'clock and you were directing traffic, and then what happened?
So I was standing outside minding my own business, directing traffic as a good cop should because I follow the law, and then this blonde girl just comes running up to me saying, "Oh, my friend died, and nobody can call the police." But luckily, I was there to help her.
Okay, so you went inside, saw the body, killed Alan Hawthorne and Sandra Huxley, and then threw your tomahawk at Herb Lorraine's body.
No, before we went inside, we saw an explosion through the window. It's crazy that I didn't hear it or feel it. That house must have been lead-lined, but after that, we went inside.
Mr. Bronson, there were no reports of an explosion from that evening.
As I said, the house must have been lead-lined. We only saw the explosion through the window. Stop interrupting. Anyway, I ran inside, and I saw this Alan Hawthorne person you keep talking about, and I knew he was the one doing all the killing, so I axed him. Nolan?
I'm here, Hugo. I guess I'm just kind of at a loss for words.
That's so funny. I'm the one on TV. I'm the one who's supposed to be starstruck.
No, I'm just baffled.
At how amazing I am?
I'm confused as to how you're allowed to walk free.
What? I saved lives.
Hugo, you're very clearly a deranged criminal. Deflections, misdirections, lies, all for self-sustainment. And at this point, it seems pretty clear that you believe what you're saying, too.
Well, yeah, it's all true. I'm a real hero. I saved lives that night, and I don't appreciate you insinuating otherwise, Mr. Rhubarb, if that is your real name.
I'm not insinuating anything, Bronson. I'm very explicitly calling you out on your lies. Very simply put, I think you're psychopathic.
Oh, yeah? We'll see about that, Rhubarb.
Jesus Christ.
Do this?
What in God's name? What are you?
Nobody talks to me like that, Rhubarb.
Somebody stop him. He's...
You're just like that Hawthorne fella.
No.
Come here.